Hi, my name is Craig Ham. I'm the VP of Broadcast at Miq, and it's a real pleasure to be a part of such a fantastic and incredible day today with so many great speakers and excellent topics. And today, I'm going to be talking all about extending reach with connected TV, one of the fastest growing and most exciting mediums in our industry. So let's get started. First off, I just want to give you a quick overview of our company for anyone who might be new to us. At Miq, we challenge ourselves to think differently. We rely heavily on rich data, insights, and smart people to help us work with our clients to drive better marketing outcomes. Miq is and has been an ambassador of change for over 10 years, driving performance outcomes through better connected marketing across all platforms, including display, digital audio, digital out of home, and of course, advanced television, offering a full 360 approach to marketing and media. Personally working in traditional television for almost 15 years, I couldn't be more excited about how technology is allowing us to optimize and create actionable insights in a space that has become almost more of a commodity buy in recent years. And our goal is to work with clients and agencies to identify new learnings and opportunities to provide greater return on ad spend. So, like I said, today is all about extending reach and how to optimize frequency with connected TV. So as we jump into that, we're going to talk about the changing TV landscape in Canada. We'll review a TV campaign that's currently on air. It's actually currently on air right now, so I can't share all of the specifics about the brand details. But what we can share is we'll kind of outline some of the key learnings and some of the insights that we've got from the rich data sources that we provide. And so how has our industry changed? It feels, I think, almost a little bit redundant to say, but our media consumption has changed so drastically over the last 5 years or so. And I think even COVID has fast-tracked some of that change. And we know this not only based on the research that we read and see, but also on our own consumption habits. Technological advances have given us audiences the power of choice. And I mean, we get to choose what content we want to watch, on what screens we want to watch it. Of course, watching things on the go, we get to choose where we want to watch things, and then of course on our own timeline. Marketers, though, are now faced with delivering outcomes in a very complex and fragmented world. We've got divided consumer attention across screens and channels. There's divided capabilities from planning to buying to measurement, and divided access to data and inventory across both open and closed ecosystems. But there is a solution that can support all of these fragmented choices. And that's what we're excited to talk to you about today. Accessing data to understand linear TV and connected TV viewership together, and then putting the audience behavior at the center of the solution. So as we touched on in the previous slide, these changes in consumption translate into three major challenges for marketers. The first one is reach and frequency. Until now, it's been extremely difficult to manage and measure reach and frequency to an incremental audience outside of or to complement linear TV. The second one is a lack of addressability, simply a lack of data and insights to help inform that planning and buying process. And the last one is the activation gap. And it really does still exist. Many of the planning and buying teams are still sitting in silos, which means connected TV plans and digital executions are not always currently complementing linear buys or traditional media executions. And I mean, we know that people don't just watch TV on linear television. So it only makes sense that marketers would look at TV the way that audiences consume it. And that is truly a mix of both linear TV and connected TV. So how is this actually possible? And what tech and data allow TV optimization to really work effectively? So what you're seeing here on the right is our proprietary Miq TV Dashboard. And I'll get into that in a minute. But first, some of you may already be familiar with ACR technology. But for those of you who are new to this acronym, ACR stands for Automatic Content Recognition. So what does that mean? To try and explain it in the most basic way, our ACR partner, Samba TV, embeds its ACR technology into TV manufacturers' smart TVs. TV owners have the option of opting in or opting out of sharing their viewership data with Samba. So it's 100% privacy compliant, which is super important. But once someone opts into sharing their viewership data, the ACR tech literally pulls second by second information of everything that's being seen on the glass or on your large TV screen. It essentially pulls 2 bits of information. So the first one is, what did you see? So did you see an ad? Did you watch a particular show? Did you see a particular piece of content? And the second one is, where did you see it from? So to give you an example, were you watching breakfast television on City TV, a regular cable network, or were you watching a piece of YouTube content from a YouTube app, or were you watching a documentary or a movie on Tubi or a program on Zumo? So Samba TV is actually a really unique partner because they embed their ACR technology globally into over 20 different TV manufacturers' televisions. So everything from higher end brands like Sony, Sharp, Toshiba, to mid-range TVs, as well as some of the more inexpensive TV brands. So having this really wide variety of different price points is really important when creating a representative panel of the Canadian population, because it truly does reflect a number of different household incomes across the country. And coming back to our Samba TV dashboard on the right here, we take all the raw ACR data and essentially populate this dashboard, making it very easy to draw insights about an advertiser's linear activity. We can see literally almost in real time the linear TV ad impressions. We can see the number of households that have been reached by a campaign. We can see the channels and the stations that they're airing on. We can see the programs that they're airing in. We can see the average frequency. So we can actually see the average frequency that each channel and each show are providing. We can also understand things like temporal information, the time of day, the audiences are seeing the ads. We can see the geographic distribution of impressions across the country, as well as competitive activity. So quite literally, every single thing you would possibly want to know about linear TV viewing habits and an advertiser's activity in TV is literally at our fingertips with Samba's ACR technology. So it's important because this one-to-one household deterministic data allows us to plan and execute connected TV campaigns to drive incremental reach, manage frequency, and complement your linear TV activity. So that wraps up the TV landscape and the changes in technology that are available. So let's bring this to life with a case study. A brand reached out to MIQ for support to run a connected TV campaign that would complement their linear TV buy. We know that the sight, sound, and motion of TV is the most effective brand building tool out there, as well as that being the most important mass reach tool. So how do we take such an effective medium and essentially make it even better? And we actually can. So with a focus on gaining incremental reach from new audiences and ensuring an even distribution of messaging frequency across the country, we can actually drive a much more balanced and effective TV campaign. So here's what we set out to achieve. Number one, we wanted to drive incremental reach beyond traditional linear TV. Number two, we wanted to help manage the frequency distribution of ad exposure across both heavy and light linear TV viewers. And number three, we wanted to help understand the differences between those linear TV and connected TV audiences. We wanted to understand like who they are, what they care about, and how to best engage with them. In order to reach these objectives, we leveraged the power of ACR as well as Environics analytics, and we broke the campaign into two essential groups. So the control group is on the left here, is measuring the standard linear TV campaign as advertisers have kind of historically done. We also set up an experimental group to measure three key areas. So one, we wanted to target postal code areas that were getting lower brand frequency. And we got this information from Samba's ACR data. Number two, we wanted to target postal codes that had a low reach on linear TV. And lastly, at a more granular level, we wanted to target individual households that under index to watching linear TV. And the results really are quite incredible. So here's what we identified. On this slide, you can see the projected linear TV reach of 5.5 million households here in brown on the left. And we were also able to understand that 1.85 million households consumed content on connected TV. And of that, 30% of those connected TV viewers watched connected TV exclusively. So, which means trying to reach them through linear TV just is simply impossible. So knowing that you could at one time reach like 90+% of the Canadian population with a large TV campaign, that just isn't possible anymore. That reach curve now for linear TV tops out, somewhere around the low to mid 70s. And we're seeing this number actually decrease as there's such an increase in things like cord cutters, cord nevers, and people just consuming content differently. eMarketer actually noted recently that for the first time in Canada, we'll have nearly 10 million cord cutters. That's an incredible number when you think we have a population of 38 million. And that this year too, pay TV subscriptions will actually drop below OTT subscribers this year. So just an incredible increase in the consumption change that we're seeing here in Canada. And there's a few really great results I want to call out here. So we were able to drive incremental reach by targeting a hard to reach group of TV audiences based on their preferred outlet of TV viewing. So we help the advertiser increase their overall linear TV reach, or let's say just their overall TV reach by 10%. That's an additional 550,000 households who were exclusively consuming content on connected TV. So it's not that these people don't watch TV related content, but it's that they prefer to leverage digital channels over the traditional television networks. Also, we noted that out of the 3 tests conducted against the experimental group, we found that the areas with low linear TV ad exposure and frequency also yielded a much higher opportunity to gain that incremental reach. Like extending reach in today's linear world is extremely challenging. So you could literally spend millions of dollars trying to increase that incremental reach and find those incremental audiences using linear TV. But what you're really doing is causing an imbalance in frequency based on the linear TV viewing habits, just the way that people watch linear television. So let's have a look at the insights we found there. Like I mentioned, another key finding was a huge disparity gap in the frequency distribution of linear TV between heavy and light TV viewers. So once upon a time, I mean, almost everybody watched linear TV. So the distribution of time spent watching was less dramatic and far more consistent across all demographics. So what we did here was we actually took the entire linear TV viewing population and we divided it into 5 equal parts. So as you can see on the far right, in pink, heavy linear TV viewers. So that's heavy linear TV viewers in the far right in the pink. Heavy linear TV viewers, we're seeing the advertisers ad an average of 18 times versus all the way on the far left, where you see that light TV viewers were only seeing the average of 1 time. And it makes sense. I mean, people who watch a lot of linear TV are going to see a lot more of the ads. In fact, in this campaign, over 52% of the total ad impressions served in linear television were only being seen by that top 20% of heavy linear TV viewers. So what this means is the brand is essentially showing more and more ads to a subset of users instead of evenly distributing their message across all of the potential consumers. So creating challenges of wasted oversaturation, and then you have underexposed consumers on the other side. So by leveraging connected TV and the power of ACR, we're able to identify where we should be targeting and which viewers are being underserved. So as you can see in the yellow, we were able to help balance out the frequency distribution and increase those bottom two groups of light linear TV viewers, bringing their frequency up from an average of 8, or bringing their frequency up to an average of 8 from just 2. So, I mean, that's a significant increase. And when you think about an overall effective CPM or an overall effective TV budget, you can see quite clearly how repurposing just a portion of your linear TV budget to connected TV allows a brand to optimize against and complement the natural linear TV viewership and make that overall, TV campaign far more effective. And it's also important for us to understand exactly who these viewers and audiences are and how we can best interact with them. So lastly, in working with our friends at Environics Analytics, we're really able to understand the differences between linear TV audiences versus those in the connected TV group. So while the differences might seem kind of obvious, it was important for us to fortify our thoughts and ensure that we're reaching both groups accordingly. So we leveraged the power of the prism segmentation to profile our group of TV audiences to see if there were themes and key traits that made up these audience profiles. And we found that many of the linear TV audiences tended to be geared towards a bit of an older demographic, tended to watch a little bit more daytime programming, and tended to live in larger suburban areas. Whereas the incremental group of connected TV audiences were more so favoring a very on-the-go kind of lifestyle, using their mobile phones as their kind of main source of entertainment. And they also tend to be younger and tend to have a mid to upper level income at a household level. And in knowing the prism profile of audiences for a brand, we're now able to leverage this data and to optimize our currently running campaign and really target these people effectively across other media channels to further amplify the brand's message. So to conclude, what we learned was that, number one, ACR data allows us to know exactly who we should be reaching using connected TV and acts as a unique mechanism to help drive incremental reach that linear TV just can't. Number two, we learned that it's extremely important to measure how often a brand is reaching their audience, so we can effectively target underserved audiences and help with that frequency management. And lastly, linear TV and connected TV data from our ACR partner, Samba, can be connected with EA's Prism profiles, and which provides even more details on the audiences that the brand was reaching and how to best engage with those audiences in the way that they truly want to be reached. So when we think about data and advertising, advanced advertising, the goal is to create actionable insights that we can utilize to increase the return on ad spend and really improve media's overall effectiveness. With ACR and Environics analytics data, we can truly close that loop on reach, frequency, and driving better outcomes, and ensure that we're reaching these people in the ways that they're the most receptive to. So I wanted to say a huge thank you to all of you for listening today, and a huge thank you, of course, to Environics Analytics for setting up such a great day. I hope you found it valuable. If you have any additional questions or would like to connect, here's my email address and my LinkedIn profile. I'd love the opportunity to connect with any of you. But if you have time now, please do join us for the Q&A session coming up right now.